Shabbat Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us his truth. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word of truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect, Tabernacle of David. To the Aquath that are listening and learning, being a pillar of rest, the 144,000, the one-third, the hopeful elect of Israel. I'm the brother Yahshua. I'm back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shabbat Shalom and salutations to you all. Today is supposed to be War and Rumors of War Tuesday, but I used the video lesson to do that, so check that out. So we're just going to go straight into it. Jeremiah 49:20, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Okay? And that's what we're watching right now. The so-called Israelis are making the area hot, right? They're going to drag the Assyrians or the Babylonians or the Egyptians or the Americans into this war. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And we're going to keep this short. Let's see. Here we have this is what the lesson was about, so check it out. Iran is about to launch missiles, right? But gonna bring everybody in. I'm gonna just play just this tidbit, right? Let me see. No, I'm not. It's lucky. Let's just get to it. All right. CBN News, 44 minutes ago, Rafah invasion. Are you really about to do that? You about to go in, and after you got these sitting ducks out there, you're gonna. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the 700 Club. Israel is ready for an invasion of Rafah despite U.S. opposition to the attack. Yesterday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it will happen. There is a date.
The Biden administration has proposed another ceasefire in exchange for hostages, while Netanyahu continues to insist he won't settle for anything less than total victory.
Okay, and that is the least of the flock would be Bibi, right? Forcing the U.S. into a war that they don't really want. Okay, listen again. He ain't going to accept nothing but total victory. What does total victory mean? And you're not achieving that. Right.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said it will happen. There is a date.
The Biden administration has proposed another ceasefire in exchange for hostages, while Netanyahu continues to insist he won't settle for anything less than total victory. Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem.
On Monday, Netanyahu announced Israel is not finished with Hamas in Gaza.
We're working all the time to achieve our goals, primarily the release of our hostages and achieving a complete victory over Hamas. This victory requires entry into Rafah and the elimination of the terrorist battalions there. It will happen. There's a date.
After months of on and off negotiations, the U.S. has reportedly proposed a new ceasefire deal. It would see a 6-week halt in the fighting and exchange 40 hostages for 900 Palestinians imprisoned in Israel. Hamas is expected to respond to this latest proposal by Tuesday night. If they agree, the truce could begin as soon as Wednesday. The Biden administration has warned it could change its policy towards Israel if it goes forward with an invasion of Rafah. There are also signs it would like to see Netanyahu replaced as leader. Monday, the U.S. Secretary of State held high-level talks with the leader of Netanyahu's opposition, who might be more pliable to White House demands.
A hostage deal is doable. It is a difficult deal. This is a deal we might not like, but it's doable, and therefore it needs to be made.
5 families related to the hostages met with Pope Francis Monday, who they say described Hamas in no uncertain terms.
He called Hamas evil, which they are. He called them bad guys and evil. And he was very clear that the hostages need to come home.
As the IDF regroups and the U.S. calls for peace, some Israelis are taking to the streets, demanding the total defeat of Hamas. They say the world is putting pressure in the wrong place.
Well, they're in the right spirit because what happens when you call for peace? Sudden destruction coming from the Most High, though. All right.
Instead of telling the international community to place pressure on Hamas to release the hostages, they're placing pressure on Netanyahu and our government. We didn't start the war, they did. Okay? They murdered 1,200
We didn't steal the land, they did.
of our people.
The mood in general is a grim determination to win the war.
Military analyst and IDF Reserve Major Elliot Chodov says most Israelis are firmly behind achieving victory over Hamas.
There's a very loud counter movement, and I emphasize loud because the overwhelming majority who are not speaking are the bulk of the population, the reservists and their families.
Chodov says it's important to pray for Israel now.
Pray for Israel's well-being, pray for Israel's safety, and pray for victory, because ultimately that's where the well-being is going to come from.
Meanwhile, at the World Court, an Israeli ally is under attack. Germany is rejecting an accusation by Nicaragua that it's violating international law by providing arms and support to Israel in its fight against Hamas. Nicaragua urged the judges to stop Germany from sending arms shipments, claiming it enables acts of genocide in Gaza. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
There you go again, Germany. And that Gino. Okay, so okay. Now, so Rafah invasion, we're moving forward. We got to stop the terrorists. We want our hostages back. So, what about the other side, though? Okay, what about what the Arabs and the Persians are doing? What are they doing in response? Okay, isn't it their turn to strike? It is their turn to strike. So, yeah, you're going to invade Rafah, but what?
Released, basically. So it's already the end of Ramadan right now, so it's
Now listen to what this guy says.
possible that Iran is going to launch these missiles right now or maybe tomorrow. I have no idea. But this NOTAM is extremely concerning. This is not training, okay? Anybody who says that this is training, mods, please delete their comment. This is absolutely not training, okay? Rocket launches will take place within this area. So this was put out by the FAA, okay, Defense Internet NOTAM Service. So I'm telling you guys, the U.S. military has some intelligence, probably satellites, probably, who knows, geospatial intelligence that Iran is going to be launching in this area, potentially towards Israel.
So Iran is going to do a direct attack in response to what happened last week or a few days back. We all know. But what they're going to do is they're going to have their proxies fire along with them at the same time, which is going to change everything. Let's see if I can let him say that, and I'll bring it to him.
Okay, and here's the location. So it's like in northern Iran. You can see all the yellow pins here. And what's interesting is one of the pins was actually, one of these coordinates is actually in central Iraq. So it looks like they might launch from central Iraq. And Vanessa Dubois, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And thanks to all the mods for showing up. Z Cali, K Paul, Ross Snyderman, Aldo. Thank you guys so much. Crow TN, Lee Billy, Michael Gale. Thank you guys for showing up and keeping everything in line.
This part right here.
So, very concerning news, guys. You can see one of these coordinates is in Iraq. So they might launch these missiles towards Israel from Iraq, because we had some breaking news earlier today that the Iranian proxies have been instructed by Iran to launch a massive attack on Israel simultaneously.
Ooh.
Okay, I repeat, Iranian proxies have been instructed by Iran to simultaneously launch a large-scale attack on Israel at the same time as Iran launches these missiles. So,
that's it. What is that going to cost? When Iran, right, does their counterstrike, which everybody's waiting on, if they use their proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, Houthis, and others, ISIS, right, Al-Ansar or whatever, if they do that, that will force the hand of the United States. Going back to what? Where we started. Surely, the least of the flock, the Israelis, shall draw them out. Draw who out? All of their allies, starting with Babylon the Great, the Americans, the Brits, the Canadians, the Aussies, right? And we're watching it in real time, okay? So with that, we hope that the elect ratified you, brothers and sisters. Shabbat shalom.